And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to Oklahoma Sportscene and a special show this week. Look back to some of our Hall of Famers we've had in the past, including Barry Switzer, the OU football coaching legend, Ted Owens, Kansas basketball Hall of Fame coach, two Hall of Famers from the University of Tulsa and then the NFL Hall of Fames, receivers Steve Largent and Drew Pearson. How about world boxing champion Sean O'Grady from Oklahoma City will be on the show, along with thrill racing Hall of Famer Bill Mott, between this year's Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes winner Sovereignty. It's our Hall of Fame replay special this week here on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Good time for it because this is the week, of course, we have the induction, the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame this past Monday night. Here are the people that were inducted on this year's class. Ken Hayes, basketball coach with 460 career wins, coach at TU, New Mexico State and Oral Roberts University, and Northeastern State. Ann Pitts Turner, Oklahoma State's first women's golf coach, coached the Cowgirls for 21 national championships. Don Porter, who's an architect, the internationalization of softball, serving as president, CEO, and got softball into the Summer Olympics. Also going in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, Enos Seymour. Sooners baseball coach for 22 years, averaged 38.5 wins a season, 9 conference titles, 5 trips to the College Baseball World Series, just passed away at the age of 93. And a superstar high school football player from Heritage High School in Oklahoma City, Wes Welker, on to a great career at Texas Tech and, of course, the NFL as well. And Ted Owens is going to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award. He's already a Hall of Famer. This is a very special award that Coach Owens received this past Monday night. Right back with our special Hall of Fame show, starting with the king himself, Barry Switzer. That's next here on Oklahoma Sports Scene, our special Hall of Fame show.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park is underway with great winning action Thursday through Saturday at 6 p.m. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day, Sunday, September 28th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, as the headliner. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations. The best racing, simulcast racing, and nonstop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
We simply could not celebrate our 300th Oklahoma Sports Scene show without the man himself. Former Oklahoma football coaching legend Barry Switzer was on our very first show way back whenever that was. Coach, great to see you again. Thanks for joining us, and we'll go back a few years together.
Chris, we will go back to the 67, I think, don't we? When Lacewell and I were coming up there to do the show with you, we were the coaches.
Yeah.
We'd fly into Tulsa every morning, and then we'd go up to KQL TV and on Sunday mornings of football season and do the show with you. And we had a great time doing that. We were assistant coaches. We were just playing around with you guys and having the best fun. And they had some practical jokes on there. Lace was jumping out of that locker behind us. You had on the set.
I remember that.
Like a real locker room. And Lace was inside that. You know, he was a short dude, and he wasn't quite as big as at the end. And he was in there. He would fit in there, and he jumped out of it. And all of a sudden, where's Laceville? And there he is. But anyway, great times, a lot of great memories, and of all the people. Tom Good Game was there at that time, and manager of the studio. And but anyway, it's good to be back, and we're playing the fourth quarter here together.
I think you're right, Coach. Yeah, the Tom Good Game. I know he approached you about let's do an Oklahoma replay show, and you already had a show going to Oklahoma City, and I did fly you to Tulsa, Oklahoma, Sunday mornings, do this show. And he kind of made it a recruiting tool for you. He said, Barry, I'll buy those buckets. You're recruiting top players. Let's get him in there and do some recruiting for us. So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, sure did. I really did. And, Tom Goodgame helped me go to the Regents and get this. The playback show was being put out there every year. The Regents weren't aware of it, just the business office. Ken Ferris was leasing it out to, or giving the contract to in Oklahoma City to Jack Ogle and I forgot who the guy did media. I don't know why I'm having a tough time thinking. I guess it's because of my damn age. That's why I'm having a tough time. But I can't remember the guy that did the Sportscene. Golly, then his son did them later on. But anyway, we were able to get it because I told the agents I had to have it for recruiting purposes. I had to have this playback show down in Texas, and I had to have it in Houston and Dallas, West Texas, and everywhere to help recruiting, and plus have mothers and fathers who can't make it to the games to see their kids playing football at OU. So it's very vital to me.
Well, Coach, we had some magical seasons. I'll never forget my first 2 full seasons there covering the Sooners, 1974 and 1975. Wow, back-to-back national championships. I've been a Missouri Tiger fan up to then, but quickly became a Sooner fan. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know what? That era of the 70s was a great era. We were the winningest team, the winningest team of the 70s. We won more games than anybody. Alabama was second, and probably Nebraska was probably third, fourth. But Oklahoma and Nebraska were the top 2 teams in the country during this time run in the 70s. And we were very good. The reason why is because I was recruiting all the best players at all positions, and I didn't care who you were. And I was playing a black quarterback in 1972 in Southwest Conference, and SEC weren't even recruiting a black player. So I got great players out of Texas. I got all the great players, and that's why we dominated. And when I had the Selman brothers, along with those guys I got from Texas and a few others, Elrod and those guys, and Randy Hughes, Peter's boys, we were dominant then. When we had the Selman, when the Selman played at Oklahoma, we were 54-3-1. 54 wins, only 3 losses, and we were better than the 3 we lost to. Our first loss was to Kansas. My first loss was to Kansas in '75 when we won the national championship because we beat Michigan in the Orange Bowl. But we lost to them, and they were 6-5 team, and it's just because of how we played and that day. And obviously, you got to give it to them. They were good. They had a good quarterback, and they ran the wishbone. So they took our offense and just ran it against us, and they've been running it all year. But other people had shut them down. 5 teams did, but we didn't that day, and but we won the rest of them.
Well, Coach, boy, has the landscape of college football changed. NIL, portals, NCAA settlement now, $20 million come to the schools to actually, it's legal now to pay players, started July 1st to pay players, and just an entire different game.
I'm glad I'm not involved in it. I don't want to be a part of it. I think they need to do some portal. In fact, they're making it like pro football. Well, let's go the rest of the way. When you draft a kid, he's yours for 3 years before he becomes a free agent. So they need to do the same thing. You sign a kid, he needs to be at your place for at least 3 years. Or if he plays as a freshman, he gets to leave in 2 years if he wants to. But he's got to be there freshman and sophomore year. So you got to finish your sophomore year of eligibility, basically is what I'm saying. You could redshirt your freshman year, then play your freshman and sophomore year coming up. You get 4 years of eligibility. You got to play 2 of them at that school. So I think that would be just like pro football. You make you a free agent then and you get in the portal. But at least you're there long enough to get on the field, play, know who's in the squad, develop some loyalty and team relationships and all, coaches and players, and find out whether you can play or not. A lot of these guys can't play. That's why they get in the portal. You get a guy out of the portal, I mean, you get a good player. I think you're getting a guy you're stepping down to. There's a reason he left the other school, and usually it's negative.
Right back with part 2 with Barry Switzer. Talks about the negative effect the portal has had on high school recruiting. And Barry has some pretty good recruiting stories of his own coming up. That's next, right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Stay with us.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on-site to assure the perfect fit, so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
The Tulsa Whalers are fresh off another playoff season. Don't let the ice cool down. Get your season tickets now for next year and save big. Season tickets start as low as $19 per month. Get your tickets at TulsaWhalers.com. That's TulsaWhalers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets are available now starting at only $19 per month. TulsaWhalers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Whalers hockey.
Well, Coach, I know the portal has really had a real tough effect on high school recruiting. It really hurt the high school recruiting, the coaches there and stuff. But I can't imagine now they've got general managers, of course. OU has one. All the staff, they're doing a lot of the recruiting. I can't imagine that was your game, recruiting, one-on-one relationship with the players and the families. Coach, that's kind of gone now.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't want anyone offering a scholarship without me knowing what the player can do. I want to see him. I want my staff to see him. The guys that coach those positions, I want them to evaluate the talent. I don't want anyone else evaluating talent for me to recruit. I just hard me to believe you got guys that didn't play Division I, maybe being your recruiting, involved in your recruiting decisions. And I just, I have a yardstick in my head. I measure everybody by that position. That I know how my defensive ends, Sam's played. I know how they played. It's different. These guys today, Sam is a guy that plays in space and has to cover guys and be able to run, play pass defense. Sam didn't have to do that for me, and I wanted to see how he played. Leroy Selman was my measuring sticks for defensive tackles and defensive ends. And if you even got close to being as good as him, you're going to get a scholarship at Oklahoma. But our guys want to see, because we've seen the best, we've coached the best. We want to see where these guys fit the measuring stick of the talent we've had before.
I know, Coach, you have some great recruiting stories. In fact, we just had Dean Blevins on the show last week, who reminded me he is one of only 3 quarterbacks in Oklahoma history who is undefeated as a starter. Of course, I only started 6 games for Berry, but I was undefeated. He said, Coach Switzer recruited me on the golf course. He came and caddied for me on the golf course. He recruited me.
Well, he was voted the #1 athlete in football and basketball that year when he was out of high school. He was a great basketball player and point guard, and Dean was a good football player. Throw it and run with it. Problem I had with him is I recruited so well in Texas. I got all the great players out of Texas. I got Thomas Lott and all those guys and Billy Sims and Kenny King and Elvis Peacock already here, first round draft pick. Los Angeles. So I had a backfield of first round picks and of course Lott was a great they called him Black Magic in San Antonio, Texas, John Jay High School, and he was that. He was a great runner, great quarterback for me. But I've always asked who all of my great quarterbacks are. I mean, best quarterbacks, but I always say, hey, they're all good. And they definitely were. J.C. Watts could throw the ball better than all of them probably, and that's why he took Ottawa to the Grey Cup when he was a rookie and went to Canadian League. He took Ottawa right to the Grey Cup because of his ability to run and throw the football.
Well, some of the great recruiting stories I always remember, Coach, I love the ones about Billy Sims recruiting there at a gas station there in Hooks, Texas. Lone Star Beer, finding out what the dad liked of that. Had some great recruiting stories.
Yeah, they were. I came in and we were playing. This is 1974. We went undefeated that year. They won the national championship, and we had a great team in '74. Might have been our best football team, offense and defense. And Joe Washington was, he was leading the nation in rushing. He averaged per carry and all that. And Joe never got to play the third and fourth quarter. We were so dominant. Joe said obviously he said I would rush for 7,000 or 8,000 yards. He let me play the whole game. I never got to play for 2 quarters. So we were at Colorado, walking in the locker room in 1974. We were leading 28-0. Joe already had 199 yards, and they only made 3 first downs the first half. And against Sullivan, her crew, and I walk in, I say, great job offense, keep it up. Defense couldn't play better. Hey, I walked over and picked a payphone up and put a nickel in it, and I called an operator, dialed an operator, and said, charge this as the phone in Norman, Oklahoma. And I gave her the number, and that's when you could do that back in those days. I said, call this number at CJ Conoco Service Station in Hooks, Texas. And she called that number, payphone there. And CJ answered it, and I said, I want to speak to Billy. Billy's pumping gas, works there on Saturdays. I got Billy on the phone. I spent the whole damn half talking to him on the phone, and all of a sudden someone taps me on the shoulder and says, Coach, you better get your team back out in the field. We're going to kick off in 5 minutes. I said, you hear that, Billy? I got to finish this ass kicking. I'll call you tonight when we get back in Oklahoma. So I hung up knowing that he knew that I hadn't had time to talk to anybody else. I was locked into a halftime, and I chose to call him of all the players that I had recruiting that were great players in Texas.
And Barry, I've always appreciated the fact, I know the players do, you've always stayed so close to your players through the years, well after their playing careers are done at Oklahoma.
Well, I've always said you recruit them, you got them for life, and they prove it to me every other day. On Father's Day, I get 500 texts from my players, and it takes me a couple of days to get back with them, but individually, and it's a neat thing because that's what it's all about is taking young men and developing the next 40, 50, 60 years of living for them and their families. And you spend more time with them off the football field than you ever do on the football field. So you develop those type of relationships. They don't have that today. It'll never happen again like this with this paying players to play in the portal and all. They'll never have the relationship I had with my players, these coaches today.
Well, Coach, I'm sure you're just as ready as I am. Let's stop talking NIL and portal. Let's talk some football. What are you expecting for the Sooners in 2025 this fall?
Well, you know what NIL means, don't you?
What's that?
Now it's legal. Hey, that's what I said when they first came out with it. Hey, listen, I don't know. You asked the wrong guy. I don't ever go over there and ever watch them practice. I don't get to evaluate their talent on either side of the ball. I start with the quarterback, what little bit of highlights I've seen of spring practice and this guy throwing the ball and all. I really like him. He gets the ball out quick, he can run pretty good, and gets the ball, throws a good velocity. He looks really good. What little film I've seen, of course, I know they're selecting the best film. It's not getting one play after another, but I'm interested just as you are in seeing how they play and how they do.
Well, Coach, I know my grandson FaceTimed me last year, which I had no idea how to do on my birthday. He said, Papa, how old are you? And I said, Lincoln, I'm 77. He goes, you're still alive? So I'm still alive, Coach. I'm still kicking, and I couldn't imagine having 300 show without having you on, Coach. Thanks for taking the time and all friendship through the years, and it's some great memories. Look forward to making some more, Coach. You look great.
All right, let's do it again next year, okay?
The Tulsa Whalers are fresh off another playoff season. Don't let the ice cool down. Get your season tickets now for next year and save big. Season tickets start as low as $19 per month. Get your tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets are available now starting at only $19 per month. TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family-owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on-site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's formal wear and fine clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Our next Hall of Famer, former Kansas basketball coach Ted Owens. Talked to him right after the Oklahoma City Thunder won their NBA World Championship. And as it was announced that Ted Owens is going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award this past week, the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. Here's the coach.
You know, Chris, the one thing I've learned in life, that whatever success that you achieve, you can't do it all by yourself. It's with the help of others. And I've been fortunate to be surrounded with family and friends and mentors. So I share it with them.
And a personal driver from Missouri.
Absolutely.
That's right. Coach's personal driver go to Oklahoma City for the meetings. Here's what they said: the Lifetime Achievement Award. The Associated recognizes a lifetime of achievement by people who set the examples that influence others, to strive for the highest goals, blaze the trails, leave behind pathways for others to follow. The award is not an annual honor, presented with much thought and value. The recipient overall, Coach, I think you're just the 3rd one to receive the award?
Yeah.
Fantastic. We get the honor on August the 4th. That's when the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame inducts its 40th annual class, which includes our friend Ken Hayes is going in, right, Coach?
Yeah, we're really happy about Ken going in. Well deserved.
We just had an interview with Dean Blevins, you heard. Dean talked about his incredible high school career. He was a big sports star athlete, recruited by everybody in the nation in basketball and football. Decided finally to go to Barry Switzer at OU, but not before he turned down Kansas Jayhawks coach Ted Owens in his own home. Coach, tell about the recruiting of Dean Blevins. He turned down a lot of guys, including North Carolina too.
Well, Dean was a very good basketball player, and I liked him, liked his leadership qualities, and so I thought he would be a really good, solid player for us. And he committed.
Yeah, he told me that.
And then Barry Switzer, it's hard to say no to Barry Switzer.
Yeah, Dean said he was a favorite of my parents as well. He was in my home and stuff, and I was ready to commit. Coach told me, why don't you just take it one night, think about it, make sure. I shouldn't have said that. When I went to OU, it was a wishbone team, but they always would have been Kansas Jayhawks. He's a good basketball player, though.
Was a good basketball player, and as you know, great person.
Well, something else to talk about, certainly. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the NBA World Champion basketball squad. Coach, what do you think of that Thunder team this year?
I loved it. First of all, they're a complete team. You know, all my life in coaching, and I've said, if you play defense, if you rebound, if you don't turn the ball over very much, you'll stay in every game.
Yeah.
And even the games that you're not shooting the ball particularly well. And that's what they did. Nearly all the games in the playoff, when the game was pretty tight, they turned it around. It was their defense. Now, you know, anybody knows that you have to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
And they have some good shooters, too. But you know what I like more than anything? They liked each other.
You can tell that, really. Good
yeah, they were a real team. And I think, I don't know the coach very well. I like his demeanor. But Sam Presti has developed a culture there. and players want to come there and play.
They say they're looking for players that fit their system, fit their identity, and tournament players. I'm sure they've done that. But I was also very impressed with it was a college atmosphere, the way they celebrate with each other and stuff, and the post-game shenanigans they go through. They have a great time. It looks like they really enjoy each other.
Oh, you bet. And that's why, for the most part, players love to stay there. And I was over one day several years ago. Sam and I've known each other quite a while.
Sam Pearson, the general manager.
I gave R.C. Buford his first job in coaching at KU as a grad assistant. Later, R.C. became the general manager of the very successful San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
And Sam was looking for a job. He wanted to get into business. So R.C. has a camp out in the mountains, and Sam was telling me this story. Sam went out, and R.C. said, well, I'm busy with my camp and so forth. Sam just got behind him and walked up and down the sidelines and stayed with him. And R.C. was impressed with a guy that wanted to get into business that much. And so it's great training under R.C. and what a job he's done.
Sam Pearson put together an incredible team. How did he pull it off? That trade with the LA Clippers to get SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, best player in the planet, looks like right now.
Yeah. He knows talent, and he knows the kind of team he wants to build. For instance, Crusoe, he gave up the youngster who was a very good ball handler and all that to trade because he knew they needed to improve their defense. Hartenstein is another great addition to the ones you already had.
A heck of a job, the NBA World Champions. How did they pull this off with one of the smallest markets in the NBA, one of the smallest cities in the NBA too?
Yeah, it's a remarkable feat, and you know what I love, and Barry Trimble just wrote an article about it. It's not just Oklahoma City; it's the whole state of Oklahoma feels that they're a part of that team.
Next, we have two Hall of Fame TU and NFL Pro Football Hall of Famers, receivers Steve Largent and Drew Pearson, right after this timeout.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's formal wear and fine clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's formal wear and fine clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
The Tulsa Oilers are fresh off another playoff season. Don't let the ice cool down. Get your season tickets now for next year and save big. Season tickets start as low as $19 per month. Get your tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets are available now starting at only $19 per month. TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Welcome back on Oklahoma Sportscene Hall of Fame special. In this thing, we have two Pro Football Hall of Famers. Both started their career at the University of Tulsa. We'll start with an Oklahoman himself, Steve Largent.
Yeah, it really did. I was born here in Tulsa.
Right, yeah.
Then my parents were divorced when I was 6. We moved to Oklahoma City, and I graduated from Putnam City High School and came to the University of Tulsa in '72 and graduated in '76 and then went to the Houston Oilers. Bum Phillips drafted me in the 4th round, and then he cut me 6 weeks later and they sent me to Seattle, and then the rest is history.
All-American career, though, at the University of Tulsa.
And I thought you'd be attracting more attention from the pros. Different era back then, though.
Yeah, well, you don't. But, you know, I had a great career at the University of Tulsa. I had a great experience there. My wife and I were married as juniors in college, and so it couldn't have been any better.
Then to Seattle, and you had a friend up there, and Jerry Rome, former great, of course, legendary quarterback at the University of Tulsa, on their staff. And you remember you from Houston, wanted to get you up there, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, Jerry was recruited by F.A. Dry to come and be our offensive coordinator at the University of Tulsa. That was the end of my freshman year, then sophomore, junior, and senior years. Jerry was the offensive coordinator. We got to be very close. We're friends, and he couldn't believe that the Seahawks didn't draft me. But then when he saw my name come on the waiver wire, he you know, encouraged him to pick me up because it was the first year of the franchise. So they did pick me up, and you know, I did pretty well there.
I'd say so. I was here for your last 2 years at TU, my first 2 years at Channel 8 in Tulsa here, and of course did Coach F.A. Dry's show. Had a great time with the coach. He's still doing well down in Fort Worth, I guess, right?
I tell you, I saw him. It was at an event that was here in Tulsa maybe a year ago or something, and he brought his family and everything. He is as sharp as a tack.
It's great to hear.
I mean, he recalls things that I had forgotten years ago, and so it was really good to see him and see him in such great shape.
Now, how did your Seattle Seahawks teammates come up with the nickname Yoda for you?
Well, you know what we did? We used to have a game that we played during training camp, and so every night of training camp we had films. And so we'd go in and watch films, and we'd always have a contest to give somebody a nickname. And so my nickname that they gave me was Yoda. And I still don't know exactly why that name stuck, but it did.
1976 through 1989, NFL Hall of Fame career with the Seattle Seahawks. When you retired, 89, you held almost every record in the books receiving-wise. Receptions, 819, yards, 13,000 plus, and right even 100 touchdowns. Also, consecutive string of 177 straight regular season games with a reception. But boy, would you like to play now?
Oh, yeah, I really would. I mean, people say, you know, well, the game's not the same, and it's not the same. But I think it's better today than it's ever been. They throw the ball so many more times a game, and that was what I loved about the game is throwing and catching.
5'11", 187.
I used to be 187, but you know, it's close.
What was your speed? Not 4.4, 4.5?
No, 4.6.
4.6.
Yeah.
So how did you do it? What was the secret to Steve Largent?
You know, I think, number one, I just had a tremendous desire to be a great football player in high school and in college and then in the NFL. And so I think a lot of it just had to do with grit and just, you know, want to. But, you know, I had some great coaches in high school and in college. Jerry Rome being a great coach and a former NFL player and All-American as in college here at the University of Tulsa. So I had some great coaches that really helped me develop as a player. And that was, you know, that wasn't a 3 or 4 month thing. That was all year thing where, you know, you try to work to get yourself better from year to year. And so I did that. And it really paid off.
I've heard that you also gave a lot of your credit to skeet shooting. The idea of just catching the tip of the ball, seeing your technique of that. Talk about
exactly.
that.
Well, I always try to tell people what I did, and I know this is what I did, but I think it works for anyone, is to, you know, they would ask me, how do you fine tune your field of vision? And I told them that what I did was what I learned in a skeet shooting trap and skeet shooting place is that, you know, they always taught people to watch the leading edge of the skeet as it was shot out of the machine. And so I thought, you know, I wonder if that would work for football. And so I started watching the tip of the ball in my hands. Everywhere I caught a ball, I would watch the tip of the ball, not the whole ball, but the tip of the ball. And what it really does is it really fine tunes your field of concentration, and it was really a gold mine for me to, you know, have something that I could really rely on and excel on.
With Steve Largent, former TU All-American, Hall of Famer, of course, of the Seattle Seahawks, and of all your records, of all the over 13,000 yards and over 800 receptions and 100 touchdowns, What are you most proud of your NFL career, Steve?
We know, I was thinking about that, Chris. I was thinking, I used to do football games on television with Chris Lincoln.
That's a few years ago.
I thought, it doesn't get any better than that.
Our second Pro Football Hall of Fame receiver, Drew Pearson. He came to the University of Tulsa in the early 1970s, following the footsteps of Howard Twilley and Steve Largent. We asked Drew Pearson why he picked the University of Tulsa.
The big reason why I went to Tulsa, I'm a kid from South River, New Jersey. I played quarterback, I didn't even know where Tulsa was. I was being recruited to go to Michigan State by Vince Carolot, and then he got the head coaching job at Tulsa, and now he's recruiting me to go to Tulsa. And so I'm looking up, and I said, what is Tulsa all about? And the only thing about their football program was a guy named Billy Guy Anderson, I guess the quarterback, and the receiver he was throwing to was a guy named Howard Twilley. And I'm thinking, wow, they're throwing the football. And that was like really big back then because nobody was doing it the way they were doing it back then. I think Howard Twilley one year had 130 some receptions. Okay. And so that kind of piqued my interest as a quarterback, go there as a quarterback that really wanted to be a receiver. And the only reason I knew about Tulsa was because of the great Howard Twilley.
Yeah, of course, he was a two-time All-American, runner-up to the Heisman Trophy in 1965. In fact, then went to the Miami Dolphins on that undefeated team of the Dolphins, played in 3 Super Bowl games, won 2 of those, so quite a legacy. What is it about the University of Tulsa, Drew? We go from Howard Twilley to Drew Pearson to Steve Largent.
Yeah, it's pretty nice lineage, isn't it? That should encourage a lot of these young receivers that are being recruited nowadays, especially down here in Texas. We got quite a few of them, and some were thinking about the University of Tulsa. But, with that kind of legacy, you would think that would inspire a lot of young guys to give Tulsa a shot. And I hope it does, because that's what it's all about. And when you think about that, Tulsa University, the Hall of Famers, the quality of the receivers, the receivers that have gone, not just receivers, but other players that have gone on to have careers in the NFL, Tulsa provides a great opportunity for that. But not only that, Chris, you get a pretty good education along the way from Tulsa University. That's for sure.
Well, Drew T. recruited you as a quarterback, option kind of quarterback, and you made the move to receiver, though, in 1971. Talk about that move.
Yeah, that was a tough move for me. I really didn't want to be a quarterback. In high school, I wanted to be a wide receiver. My sophomore year, I started at wide receiver and played safety on defense, free safety. The quarterback happened to be a guy named Joe Thiesman. Okay. Yeah. So he was a senior and I was a sophomore. So I backed him up at quarterback and still started at wide receiver. Chris, I used to play the varsity game as a sophomore at wide receiver the whole game. And on Saturday afternoon, our kickoff was at 2 p.m. And then on Monday after school, I would play the junior varsity game at quarterback to groom to replace Joey when he decided to move on to go to Notre Dame. So anyway, I played 2 years at quarterback, became an all-state quarterback, but I knew my natural position would be wide receiver. And Tulsa was going to give me the opportunity to do that after my freshman year. I started on the freshman team at quarterback for TU. And one of the guys they had there at quarterback, they brought in 8, Chris. They brought in 8 quarterbacks, and all of them pretty much were moved to other positions, including, I don't know if you remember, Steve King, played linebacker, ended up getting drafted by the New England Patriots and playing a number of years with the Patriots. But the the coaches saw him as a quarterback initially, but then they saw his size because he was about 6'4", and moved him to linebacker. But anyway, played 2 years at quarterback and then finally got this opportunity to move to receiver.
Drew, he was an undrafted free agent with the Dallas Cowboys in 73. Most of the special teams guy, broke through in 74 as a receiver. The rest is history there. Great Hall of Fame career and Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I had a chance as an undrafted free agent because I was pretty disappointed. I was expecting to get drafted, because a lot of the scouts that were coming to Tulsa, we had other guys like Ralph McGill, Ray Rhodes, people like that, George Haynes, my roommate, guys like that were being considered to be drafted. And so we had a lot of scouts come through, and they were always saying, Drew, you got what it takes. Maybe you'll get drafted and that type of thing. But it didn't happen. And as an undrafted free agent, I had a chance to sign with the Green Bay Packers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, or the Dallas Cowboys. And I just decided to go with the Dallas Cowboys because of two reasons. Number one was Tom Landry. Okay. If you could make it with Tom Landry, I figure you could make it anywhere. And then number two, the proximity to Tulsa. I was married at the time to the great Marcus Haynes' daughter, Marsha K. Haynes, and we owned a Volkswagen that he had given us for a wedding gift. And so I could take that Volkswagen once I signed with the Cowboys and go back and forth on weekends to work out in Dallas, and then be back by Monday to go to class and finish up my education there at Tulsa. So, but I had decided to sign with Dallas, and it was the best decision I could have made. And Chris, it wasn't about the money, okay? My first year's salary with the Cowboys was $14,500. My signing bonus, Chris, you want a good laugh? Okay. Yeah. My signing bonus was $150. 150. That's it. Wow. Not those extra zeros they get nowadays. But I got my signing bonus in cash because I needed the money right away, Chris. I didn't even have a card to go, a credit card to go cash a check. So I needed cash money, and I got my Cowboy signing bonus in cash. But Chris, it turned out to be the best decision I could have made in my adult and professional life, because things really started happening for me once I was able to get into training camp and get in that winning environment with the Cowboys and learn so much from Tom Landry and the organization, and then be around all those other great players. You know who my quarterback was, Chris, for 8 seasons? Roger Staubach. Okay. Oh, wow. Hey, Chris, Roger Staubach could make you a Hall of Famer. Okay. All you got to do is suit it up, and he can make you one. But, your quarterback's Roger Staubach, and then he leaves, and Danny White for 3 years. So I was blessed in that regard for sure.
Drew Pearson, the original number 88, ended his NFL career with 7,800 yards of receiving, 48 touchdowns, and 3 Pro Bowls. Dallas Cowboys put him in their Ring of Honor in 2011, elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2021. Before that, he was inducted into the University of Tulsa's Athletic Hall of Fame in 1985. Our next Hall of Fame, a boxing world champion, Sean O'Grady, Oklahoma City. That's right after this.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Our story. It lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
He's the former lightweight champion boxer of the world. And our good friend Sean O'Grady, a member of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. Sean, great to see you as always. Congratulations on a great career. How did it all start to you? Because really kind of a family issue.
Yeah, as my parents were boxing promoters. I grew up around the sport. My parents promoted boxing every 2 weeks. My gosh, think about that for a minute. Every 2 weeks they had a different fight, different fighters. They had different guys from Oklahoma. So my dad was creating a business in Oklahoma, and the business was boxing. He he is the one who taught people. He promoted in other cities too. We promoted in Las Vegas and promoted in Los Angeles and Long Beach and all over LA, and then promoted I was born in Austin, Texas. So but that was my dad's jam. He loved promoting. He was a promoter, and he taught people how to in Oklahoma, taught people how to be judges, how to be referees. He taught people how to be boxers. He taught people how to be fans. He taught the fans how to cheer for their fighters. I mean, my father it was just incredible that he had all this knowledge, and he taught so many people how to not just box, but how to watch boxing, how to score boxing, how to all the elements of of the sport of boxing that my father gained this knowledge, and he taught other people how to do it. So he was really, and that's how I learned to box, is from my parents.
At age 20, you won your first title bout, 15-round unanimous decision. You won Arturo Leon. Tell us about that bout.
Oh my gosh, Arturo Leon was the name kind of speaks for itself. He was a lion in the ring. He was unbelievable strong. I hit him with everything I could, and he just kept coming. He was a bull in the ring. He'd fought many top fighters, and it was a real testament to my abilities at that time, because he was a step above me. So for me to get into that category of boxer, and after that fight, I won the championship, the United States Championship, right. And that gave me a propulsion so that I could be a champion then. And I knew I could be a champion. In 15 rounds, I got cut in the first round over one eye. I think it was 14 stitches. I got cut in the other eye, the second eye. I got cut, 16 stitches. So I had this gash right across my head, and kind of a halo effect. And the only way that I would have been able to stay in that fight is if I didn't bleed, and if I changed my style. So for that fight for Arturo Leon, I had to become more of a boxing mover type style, kind of in a defensive mode the entire fight. And I'll never forget what he taught me in that fight, and that was to move and to be a different kind of fighter. So that's what I remember mostly about that. And when it was over, I was so thankful that I was the United States champion, and representing the U.S. For world fights.
Well, then you went to Glasgow, Scotland, November 1980. It was the WBA lightweight championship bout, and ran into some problems right at the start with a headbutt.
Oh yeah, that one too. Is we were constantly battling back and forth. Me and this guy named Jim Mott. Jim Mott was the champion. I was fighting in Glasgow, Scotland. Glasgow, Scotland was a very dangerous city, and because of my family name and my family background, the people of Glasgow did not like me at all. I always wanted to go. I wanted to fight people like Jim Mott, the great champion from Glasgow. I wanted to fight him because I wanted to get his fans. I wanted them to be my fans. Yeah. Well, that's not how it works in sports. That's not how it works. If you beat a guy, his fans don't become your fans. That's not the way it works. Hey, they don't like you. Yeah. So, and his fans did not like me. And because of my heritage, Irish Catholic, because of my heritage, the fans of Glasgow did not like me. In fact, I remember they caught me every time I leave my hotel. People would use field glasses to follow me around, and it was very scary. And they called me, the newspaper there called me the American. It was right when Dallas was there. Remember that show, Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
And they played the video in America where Who Shot JR. I never watched Dallas. I still haven't watched Dallas. But they were all asking me when I went there, because we had our Oklahoma swag on, and we were representing Oklahoma, and they were all asking me, who shot JR? JR was one of the characters on Dallas. And I didn't know. I never watched the show, but they were like, who shot JR?
Very colorful career. Came to end 1983. You retired to the ring at the young age of 23. Incredible record. Just really amazing. 81 wins and 86 fights, 70 wins by knockout. And I know you'd hoped along that way for a title fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. He retired before you did. And what were your plans after that? I heard you even thought about you want to be a doctor.
Yeah, I did, and I did go back to school, not to be a doctor, but I went back to school. And after my boxing career was over, and I was very fortunate in that I had another career lined up, and that was in broadcasting, and that went pretty well. But what a tough thing to do, you know that. I'm not telling you anything. And I wanted to be Chris Lincoln. Hey, what would your name be if you're a boxer? If you're a boxer, what would your name be? Chris Lincoln.
Chris One Punch Lincoln. That'd be
one shot, one punch. Right. Yeah, I mean, one punch to knock him out, or one punch is all you take.
Got a heck of a career as an analyst in boxing. I remember watching that, but also been very successful in
thank you
Delta's work and stuff. So, Sean, I know really proud. In 2003, elected the Oklahoma Hall of Fame.
That's right.
1992, you were in the World Boxing Hall of Fame, and then just this past May 11th, elected the Golden Gloves Hall of Fame.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. That. And next time I come to Philadelphia, I'll be inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. And the Atlantic City is where I won my championship. And I had many broadcasts from Atlantic City, New Jersey. They were all it was great boxing haven kind of here in Philadelphia and Baltimore. And they're really into boxing and Atlantic City. And it's so proud that I can be inducted into the Hall of Fame of Atlantic City, because that's where I won my championships. That's where I beat Helmer Kenty for the title. And so many people there in Atlantic City know, the history of boxing, and they follow it, with great adulation. So it'll be great to be back in Philadelphia then when I come back in September to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Right after this break, we'll come back to the Remington Race Report. Before that, a Hall of Famer, Bill Mott, trainer of Sovereignty, who won the Kentucky Derby in the Belmont this year. All that coming up right now on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Stay with us.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park is underway with great winning action Thursday through Saturday at 6 p.m. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day, Sunday, September 28th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, as the headliner. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations. The best racing, simulcast racing, and nonstop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
We're back on Oklahoma Sports. Here's a very special guest, old friend of mine, Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott. Of course, he had a fantastic spring with Sovereignty, winning the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont Stakes. Bill, we go way back before then. You've come a long ways from South Dakota, my friend. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk about that background of yours. The racing family, the Motts of South Dakota.
Well, started when I was 14 years old, I guess, the first job on the racetrack, and so we've been at it a long time. Took a long time to get a Kentucky Derby winner and a Belmont winner.
Well, you learned from one of the best. You went from training in South Dakota to one of my great friends, Hall of Famer himself, the great Jack Van Berg.
Right. Yeah. I left South Dakota, upon graduating high school and made the tour of the Midwest. I went to, through Colorado and Nebraska, and then finally made my way to Detroit, New Orleans, up and down the Midwest, Chicago, Hot Springs, Arkansas. And then I guess in 1987, I took a private job with the the Firestones, and they got me to New York. And I guess at that time I was anxious to get to New York and see if I could make it there. And of course, New York has always been I think it was once thought of as the proving ground for trainers and horses alike. And I wanted that challenge, and I made it there. And I've been here since '87.
And the Remington Park Thoroughbred race season opened on August the 8th in Oklahoma City. And to get a preview of that, let's talk to Dale Day, their track announcer.
The 2025 Thoroughbred season at Remington Park has arrived. The opening weekend of action takes place on Friday, August 8th, and Saturday, August 9th. Horses have been working out in the mornings for nearly a month at Remington Park, completing those preseason preparations. A main storyline to follow this season is once again Miss Code West. The superstar of trainer Kevin Scholl's very small operation, Miss Code West, loves Remington Park as she completed her 2024 Horse of the Meeting campaign with this spectacular effort in the You See It Stakes on December 13th. They're off in the You See It Stakes. Away well to the inside, Low Euro Cat led his Legacy Miss Code West going out from the outside, and they're going to hook up into the turn. Devious Diva between those front runners is fourth early on. Then very wide, Code of the South outside of Okie Magic. Back to the inside, Blue Moon River is seventh, and a gap of 4 to the trailing CW Charm early on. Midway around that first turn, it is Low Euro Cat and led his Legacy battling for the front. Miss Code West is going to stay clear to the outside in third. Only about a length off of them as they go to the backstretch. Another length and a half then to Code of the South. Devious Diva is fifth to the inside, 4 off of it with 5 furlongs left. Then Okie Magic and Blue Moon River, and another 5.5 back to CW Charm. 25.16, really easy opening quarter. Half mile to go, and Low Euro Cat and Let Us Legacy set that pace. Miss Code West right there within a half length third as they head to the far turn. 49.03 for the second quarter mile and the half mile. So they picked things up in that second quarter mile split. Backing up, Low Euro Cat. Let His Legacy still has the advantage. Miss Code West still now within a half length second as Low Euro Cat says sayonara to the top two with a quarter mile to go. Devious Diva fourth for the moment, but quickly moving into third. Off the turn, here's the battle on the stretch. Outside, Miss Code West. Let His Legacy to the inside, and Miss Code West, just like that, finds a gear no one has and is gone. Miss Code West opens up quickly at the top of the stretch. She is out by 5, and she will win by as much as she wants. Under Floyd Wethy, Let His Legacy can only watch her go. Miss Code West, under wraps at the end, will score the You See It by 7, maybe 8. Miss Code West has won 7 times at Remington Park, earning 2 consecutive Horse of the Meeting honors. If she can win that trophy one more time, she will equal fellow Oklahoma-bred Welder as the only horses to win the award 3 times. A new weekly schedule takes place this season at Remington Park as we feature live racing 3 nights a week after our opening weekend of August 8th and 9th. Normal racing schedule kicks in on August 14th, 15th, and 16th with racing on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Also new this season, a slightly earlier start time of 6 p.m. Central. We look forward to seeing everyone back at Remington Park for the start of the Thoroughbred season. Here in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sportscene.
Hope you enjoyed our Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame special. Be sure to join us next week on the program. I have some special features for you. Till then, as we always remind you, be a good sport.